Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the journey. I'm your host, Hans. And today we're going to be talking about duality. And in short, while I pull up paint here, um, it's quite simple. Um, Duality just doesn't exist. Yes, it simply doesn't. And you might be like, how can that be? You you have this side and you have that side, right? You have this side and you have that side. And so you might be sitting there being like, so if you have this side and that side, that's two sides. That must mean that it's a dual, right? No, because in order to have this side, you must have that side. You cannot have this without that, right? It is similar to the yin and yang sign, right? You have, hold on, I use the fill bucket button here. Is it not F? Is it G? Or it might be P. It's B. It is B. Okay. Anyway, right, you have that, and then you have this, right? Oh, I was not using the pencil, I was using the brush, I think. Okay, whatever. Three. Cool. Boom. Okay, whatever. Boom. Rub this. There we go. Oh, right. Boom. Boom. Right. You cannot have, right? If you notice while looking at this symbol, in order to have the white, you must have the black. It is The white is not off over here in its separate symbol. It is not here in its entirety on its own. And the black is similarly not over here entirely on its own. They are both together in the same symbol. Right? The black is on one side, the white is on the other, and they are so interconnected that the light, if you will, if you want to go with light and dark instead of black and white, they are so interconnected that the light is within the darkness, and that the darkness is within the light. That is just how interconnected they are. And that is, in the simplest terms, how duality doesn't exist. It is as simple as that, right? Or it is as simple as this. Wait. I can do it. Oh man. I didn't have the snare enabled. It's fine. Okay. Oh, my drone is moving. Okay. It is very cramped in here. So, oh wow. I have been beating up this stick. Alright, anyway. Bit of philosophical humor, right? With the video, right? You can't have this without that and that without this. Alright. Um, yeah, I don't really know what more to say other than that, right? I can give another example, certainly. Let's take any sport game or any video game, right? That's competitive, right? So, maybe you like playing Rainbow Six, maybe you like playing Rocket League, maybe you like playing League of Legends, maybe you like baseball or football or basketball or soccer, right? And right? What happens at the beginning of the game and what happens during the game is more or less irrelevant. it can go into proving how duality is non-existent. That it is only the one existent. There is not one side or the other. Both sides exist at the same exact time, all of the time. So we'll skip the beginning of each of the games, and we'll skip all of the in-between rounds, right? We're gonna skip straight to the end. Well, I guess Rainbow Six has rounds, and so does CS:GO. However, that's minutia, if you will. It's microcosming it. So we're gonna look at a little bit bigger of a macrocosm, and we are going to look at when the game ends, right? When the game finishes, right? It says the blue team, whatever, wins, and the orange team loses, right? So you're on blue, you won, uh, and on orange, you lost, right? This is the typical thinking, right? And this is kind of what people would say is dualism, right? There is both the winning and the losing. It is the two sides. However, going into that competitive scene, that competitive game, well, not only was it predetermined, it was by fate. One side would win and one side would lose. Um, I think I might have even just explained how duality doesn't exist with the words that I just said. Because it is that the duality just fades away like that. Because if it is understood that when you go into the game, one team is going to win and one team is going to lose, that is the same as the yin and yang, right? Just draw it differently, right? Win and lose, right? And then there's like a small circle that is also losing, and there's a small circle that is also winning, right? Because when you lose, you have the ability to learn and adapt and overcome and improve. So you've won, right? You tested your skills, and in a sense, you did win. You were able to put your skills to the test and show them off, and maybe you were able to do a cool move or a cool trick that you were practicing, or maybe something else. I don't know. I listed a bunch of different games and a bunch of different sports, so there's quite a few different possibilities that could happen here. So I'll just leave it at that, right? However, also within the win, going to the other side, you also lose because you are essentially saying to yourself, you are not good enough. In a sense. Because you yourself probably were at that level of the losing team at one point. And there's a couple more things. This can be quite largely expanded. So, and I want to simplify it. I'm thinking, if you wish to think along with me, about when you win, right? Because I have played the competitive games, whether it be sports or video games, and I'm recalling right now the moments in which I won the game, right? And in those wins, I also lost. And I'm trying, if you wish to indulge with me, trying to figure out what I also lost. And I've come to pause if you wish to try to figure it out yourself. And I've come to the consensus with myself that in that moment of winning, when the time is called and the score is set, you perhaps lose a moment of sympathy or even empathy. And you gain a sense of pride or superiority. And perhaps that doesn't happen so much at the higher tiers of game, right? Whether it be the professional um, leagues, right? You know, like the MLB or the NFL or whatever, or even at the ranks of SSL or uh, what is it, Challenger in League of Legends, and Champion, I think, in Rainbow Six Siege. I know they added one. It was a while ago that they added it. Though when I mainly played Rainbow Six, it was Diamond was the highest. Um, anyway, in that moment of victory, you, I can see where people would lose that slight, but they gain that superiority to push people down, and that can lead to numerous after effects. And I'm not sitting here saying that we shouldn't have competition. This is where good sportsmanship comes into play. Much, much, much importantly. That's the word I'm looking for. This is where good sportsmanship really comes into play. You find more of it in the in-person sports, right? Like football and baseball and soccer. I didn't play football or baseball, but I did play soccer. And I do remember, after each game, you lined up and you shook each other's hands, or you like high fived it, right? Everybody was like high fiving each other, and it was like good game, 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 right? As you high fived each other or fist bumped them or whatever. And in online games, you don't really see that at all. And I would like for us to. Sorry, I flicked my eyes at my cards here. I I have a lot of fidget toys around me. I play with my cards, I play with my hairbrush, etc., etc. That's not the important part right now. The important part is online is usually people uh go after each other. And in some serious cases, people start saying like slurs or really hateful things. And it creates a sense of, I'm gonna say, uncamaraderie. I don't know if that's a word, though it gets the point that I'm trying to say across splendidly. It creates that sense of uncamaraderie. This good game, good game, good game, good game, right? at the end of the game, if there's like a chat box, you can say GG and whatnot. Um, and that is probably about the best we can get, unless there's voice chat in the game where you can say good game, guys, or whatever, right? Though in games where it's mostly text chat, right? GG is probably just fine. And I'm not trying to say to restrict speech or anything like that. That is not what I'm promoting. What I'm asking all of us to do within the multiplayer gaming community is to cultivate that sense of camaraderie. Because video games are a very, very popular source of entertainment and enjoyment in these modern times. And I understand things can get competitive. However, I'm also asking myself this, to remember that there is another person on the other side of the screen, and they're trying their best, not only in the game, however, also in life. And to try to keep that in your mind, and to not lash out at them and call them any obscenity or, you know, do what is considered toxic in the game that of your choice, right? Rocket League, you can want to save people and whatnot. Uh, you know, Other games have text chat and whatnot, and you have teabagging and all this jazz. That is all I am here to ask at this point, because we are all human and we all enjoy the good times, and that's what we want, and we want to cultivate more of that, and to keep that camaraderie intact online when it seems so lost in these modern times, as not only myself, though I am sure uh that is not a proper sentence, uh not a flowy sentence, I should say. It gets the point across, but I know I have observed it, and I am sure many of you have also observed it. So I ask you to try to be a little bit nicer in each of the games you play. That is that is why I'm asking at this point. However, getting back to the duality thing, um, yeah, it just doesn't exist, as I said at the beginning, right? You know, if I think that this whole win-loss thing went a little in depth, as in depth as I possibly can, um, for a connection point, because there are so many things in which, well, it's happening all the time, right? you know, uh, right? This yin and yang symbol is just happening all the time. There is darkness within each action of light, and in each action of light, there is a bit of darkness, and it is happening constantly. So, um, it might feel like it swings one way or the other in extremities, right? Like, maybe you have like the best day, you win the lottery, you get a girlfriend, and like a bunch of other things come your way, right? And it just swings heavily this way. And then the next day it's like the exact opposite, or like another day in your life, right? Um, However, right, in those dark moments, there is also that the silver lining, as a popular saying is, right? Maybe if, pardon me, your partner breaks up with you, yeah, it's gonna, it's gonna hurt, right? Uh, but after some time of healing and processing your emotions, you'll be like, all right, I'm ready to go again. Uh, and you've learned plenty of lessons from that previous relationship, and you can apply the lessons that you've learned in this new one, and it'll last longer. And if your aim is marriage, then hopefully it leads to that, right? And likewise with the like you get the girlfriend, not but and now you have somebody to care about. I guess that isn't really like a darkness, though. I guess it's something extra on your plate. I don't know. I'm not trying to like. It sounds a bit harsh, though. When you care about somebody, it's not like they're a burden. It is something else to keep in mind. That is what I am saying, right? That is all I am saying with that. I'm not saying they're a burden. I'm not saying getting a partner is a bad idea. I'm saying none of that. What I am saying it is another thing on your mind. However, it is not a bad thing upon your mind. It is hopefully a very good thing because I have personally experienced some opposition to that statement with other people I have been in relationships with, friendship or otherwise. So, yes, I'm not trying to uh, put down relationships. All I'm saying is that in that light, there will be potential problems, right? It won't be 100% smooth the entire time you are in a relationship with anybody, friendship or otherwise. That is the darkness that I am trying to say. And if you're stuck through all that, rambling, trying to figure out the words, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And yep, that's all I have for duality. It doesn't exist. Does not exist. Let me switch this to duality. Does not exist. Yep. So, yep. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful time wherever you might be. And I hope to see you again real soon. Bye bye.